Here. I'm with my son Andrew, and we're about ready to put a new colony of bees in the hive. Andrew has the smoker here ready. He's going to smoke the bees, and that'll kind of calm them down a little bit to make them a little bit easier to work with. So let's head to the hive. This is called a nuke, which stands for a nucleus colony. You'll see here in the middle frame, that's where all the bees are clustered. So our job is to move each of these frames into there. So Andrew's gonna give them a puff of smoke here. And then that will make them easier for me to work with. This is called a hive tool. There's something called propolis in a hive that is like bee glue. And so it's very sticky to work with. So it helps me pry out these frames that have been stuck inside this box.
Andrew, you need to get way up there. Closer.
Now a full and active hive has between 50 and 60,000 bees. And so within a matter of days or weeks, we can see that many in here. But we see here how they're gathered on both sides. They're already working at laying a lot of eggs. That's called brood. We have a little bit of honey cells right in here as well. So let's go ahead and put this guy in his hive. Now as I do this, it's really important that I keep them in the same direction that they were in the box.
Andrew, you need to get closer. No, do the nuke, honey.
He's good. Can you give me a puff of smoke here, Andrew?
There's combs on the bottom.
Yeah. Now what I'm looking for is the queen. We had our queen marked, but a lot of these bees are on top of each other. So it's kind of hard to find her at this point. I am noticing a queen with, one bee with deformed wings. So that's something we're going to have to keep an eye out on to make sure there's no disease that might be spreading from bee to bee. But as long as it's just one and not a whole bunch of them, I think we're pretty good.
Good job, Andrew.
Now when we look at this one, there's hardly any bees on it at all. I only see 2. That's because when bees fill a hive, they're working from the inside out. So these are the outer frames, so they're not very full at all. There's only a bee here, and it looks like there have been some eggs laid right around here in a few places. This one doesn't have anything yet. There's a few more on this outer one, we see a lot of brood being laid, but at this point I'm not seeing any honey. Now at this point I'm going to add some new frames in so that the bees have room to expand. You'll see these are completely empty and they just have a wax covering on them. So the bees will be able to start building on this now too.
That's our cat. So.
Now I don't see many more bees in here, but I'm just going to set this box to the side. So if there's any left, they can fly on in. And this hive is not quite full enough to add another layer. So I might come back in a few days and see if they've filled up some of these new hives. And then I'm going to add another layer onto this box. So since I'm done for the day, I'm going to go ahead and close this up. This is called the inner lid. So I'm going to carefully set this back on. A little bit of smoke. Okay, we're good. Thank you. And this is the outer lid. You'll notice here I've got some sugar water to get them going, but bees really will choose flowers over this sugar water, but they have this so they can get it easily. This is where they're going to enter and exit. So maybe tomorrow morning, if it's sunny, I'll be able to watch them come in and out flying, but I'm glad you got to join us for entering the hive, and thankfully nobody got stung today. So see you. Bye, third grade.